since I'm kind of getting into leatherworking, I've decided that instead of just buying a new bigger soft case, what I'm going to try to do is build myself one from leather, and I'm also going to try to tool it and you know, finish it basically. So it's kind of a new project that I'm going to take on. So I'm going to show you kind of what I've done so far. Just remove this case. What I've done is cut out a template that should hopefully fit the revolver, as you can see. And then what I've also done is cut out a piece of leather, and as you can see, I kind of changed the design a little bit. So using this template, I've marked off two sides and gave myself probably about 1 inch to 1.25 inches maybe of middle where the bend is going to be. And then I also drew out a little pattern for what my tooling is going to be, and I tried to use the Sheridan style drawing. I just looked at what people are doing and kind of made my own design. I know it's not as good as some of the professionals, but it'll work out for the first try. So I think it's going to be pretty decent. Anyway, so what I'm going to do next is transfer this to this like a transparent film, and then transfer it to leather and start tooling. And after that, I'm going to buy zipper and basically go through the project. So quick update. This is what the project looks like so far. I've decided to do tooling, Sheridan style tooling on one side and just basket weave on the other. I also bought a zipper, and I've decided to thin out these strips so that when it's folded like that, I'm going to make a little loop right here, and the zipper will still be able to kind of get up to this. Otherwise it would be too thick and the zipper wouldn't close. So that's what this project looks like so far. I've just stained the piece. As you can see, I've already pre-cut or pre-punched all the holes for the stitching as well as for the rivets, and stained it with antique saddle tan. So that's that, and I've cut this little piece of foam that is 1/4 inch smaller than around the perimeter than the leather. And then I'm also planning to wrap the foam in felt and then stitch everything together with the zipper and all of that. Another update, I've actually applied some satin sheen leather finisher to this piece here. As you can see, it's kind of shiny now, and stain shouldn't come off it anymore. So on the other side, I only took care of the exposed areas because this inside area is going to be covered anyway. So, and I'll show you that. Basically, I got my foam, and using spray adhesive, I've sprayed the foam and a little felt because I had some red felt left over from when I was building my cabinet. and kind of stuck it on there just like that. Foam is very soft, so it's not going to add to the volume, I guess, inside the case, but the gun, when it's inside the case, should actually be kind of hugged very nicely by the foam. So, and just to show you, it's about the same size. I made it only slightly smaller. Maybe you can tell here, it's just slightly smaller. Sorry for bumping the camera. And I do plan to stitch through the edge of the felt as I'm putting in the zipper. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. Hope you're enjoying this, because like I said, it's kind of an unusual video for me, and also a new hobby, so I plan to continue working on this because I really like YouTube. So I realized I made a mistake with my last design, and I've decided to change it quickly before I actually went too far. I actually did glue the foam and wrapped in felt onto the leather, and then I ripped everything off. I kind of stitched one side with zipper on it and removed everything pretty much. The reason why I had to do that was because with my original design, and I'll show you here in a second, the zipper would never, because the zipper is not wide enough, and I hope you can see that here, I would never be able to have the zipper basically stitched to each side and then still have the case open, right? On one side that's okay because the zipper separates on one side, but then on the other side, and this side was exactly the same as that, the zipper doesn't separate. So that means that if I were to stitch the zipper into the case would never open all the way. It would kind of be stuck in this kind of fashion right here. Okay, so I've decided to change that, and I've made the opening go further in to kind of create the opening just large enough for the zipper, as you can see right there. And with this situation, the zipper will allow the case to open all the way. So that was a mistake on my part. I've never worked with zippers before, so it's a learning experience basically. So I guess I finished this project. I can tell you right now that I failed a lot and learned a lot. Zipper was a pain in the rear for me. I don't know how to sew in the zipper. As you can see, it's all wavy, and as a result it is very difficult to close and open. But when you do move it back, the case opens all the way. I put in a zipper, and then I cut out felt, sized it just to go to the stitching line basically, and then glued it just at the edge under the zipper material. So it's not padded, but I don't intend to drop it, and in the future I will change the design and I will make it padded, kind of nicely padded, right? This was a learning project, like I said. As you can see, the case turned out pretty well. as in leather work, turned out pretty decent. I'm actually quite happy with this. Let me just close it back up. I'm gonna struggle with it again. Okay, so there's the case. For the first project, I mean, like I said, I failed a lot, but I also learned a lot, so I think I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. And next case is definitely going to come out much better. So hope you enjoyed this little video. Like, it's very unusual for my channel, I know, but I'm getting into this, so I imagine I'm going to be posting some more kind of on the same topic.